But it's still important to the clubs involved. Even at last Saturday's first qualifying round, when our current Road to Wembley side, Wessex Leaguers Thatcham, had the chance of a giant killing against Salisbury of the Beezer Homes League. Salisbury can't have relished their trip to Lancaster Close and certainly weren't enjoying it after Thatcham went ahead in the first half. Mickey Herdwell began the move, and though Fearon couldn't completely control his pass, his striking partner Ian Duncan didn't need to. But Salisbury hit back after an hour when Thatcham failed to clear a right-wing corner and David Green punished them. That meant a celebratory high five for him and a 1-1 draw and a replay for the two sides at Salisbury on Wednesday. Now, it may seem like only yesterday that the first yachts were...
The second qualifying round of the FA Cup last night by beating Thatcham Town by 3-0 in a first-round replay. There were no goals in the first half, but Salisbury eventually broke the deadlock 11 minutes into the second half with a Barry Cranmer goal. Substitute John Gomersall made it 2-0 6 minutes later with a great individual goal. And his cross resulted in Salisbury's third goal. Brett Phillips, who's on loan from AFC Bournemouth, provided the finish. In the second qualifying round of the FA Cup, Salisbury will be at home to Poole.
And from football to cricket, and in the third day's play...
The second qualifying round of the FA Cup. Another chance for us to follow two local sides on the road to Wembley. The sides in question were Salisbury and Poole. The road to Wembley for them turned pretty soggy on Saturday.
Football at Victoria Park on Saturday was strictly for the hardy. There was little pleasure for the spectators in the conditions. Their only consolation was that the players were finding it even tougher. Salisbury took the lead courtesy of a penalty. It was given for a trip on Ian Chalk, which, under the circumstances, may have been considered harsh. But Jimmy Smith wasn't about to squander the opportunity. There was more quality about the goal, which made the result certain in the second half. Smith's pass released Brett Phillips on the left. He skated around a defender, and although Sean Sanders' header wasn't good enough, Chalk's was. 2-0 to Salisbury. They now face a visit either to Waterlooville or Thame.
Weekend. It's the fourth qualifying round, and on Monday the survivors go into the first round proper with the third and fourth division sides. Our road to Wembley team, Salisbury, couldn't have a harder match tomorrow. Even playing at home could be more of a hindrance than a help. Salisbury's opponents this Saturday are Farnborough Town, the best non-league side in the country on current form. Farnborough are top of the Vauxhall Conference, and they've won all 8 of their away league games. For the manager Ted Pearce, who's been with them since they started as a Parks side nearly 25 years ago, it's very agreeable to be within sight of a place in the Football League. But to him, the FA Cup is more important.
The league might be more important than the cup if you were talking to the manager of Wycombe Wanderers or Colchester, because they're looking to get promotion to the Barclays League. But for us, if promotion to the Barclays League comes along, it'll be marvellous. But the FA Cup has a special significance, really, and it must do for all clubs of a lower level, because in difficult economic times, this is an opportunity to make some money.
Just as ominous for Salisbury is the memory of last year's exit from the competition. With an irony the Cup frequently throws up, they lost at home to Farnborough. But the Wiltshire side had performed consistently well to get this far this year, and this is no time for doubts.
They put us out the FA Cup one round earlier last year, and they beat us 3-0 at Salisbury. And to be fair, they won a decanter. And I'd like to think that this time we were, whatever the score, we're going to ruffle the feathers a bit.
Salisbury have got a nice habit to score goals. I mean, in the last round of the Cup, they got 4. In the last round of the FA Trophy, they scored 4 times. So that's a good habit. But the best habit I know in football, hitting the ball in the back of the net. And we've got to make sure that they don't do it on Saturday.
And that's the way to do it, or rather not to do it.
The shot will soon be embroiled in the FA Cup, along with at least 2 of the South's non-league sides. Only one of those non-league sides, Farnborough Town, is definitely through to the first round proper. But there's no doubt about their right to be there after the final qualifying match. Farnborough are currently the country's leading non-league side, and they showed just why after only 4 minutes against our erstwhile road to Wembley side, Salisbury. Mick Doherty, the man who put them ahead. On the half hour, the visitors carved Salisbury's defence apart again, giving Simon Reed the chance to show his finishing powers. Just before half-time, it was 3-0 when the Salisbury keeper Mark Coombe couldn't punch Holmes' free kick clear, and Reed made him pay. Farnborough have won all their away league games, and they weren't going to lose this one. Just 3 minutes into the second half, Broom helped set up the fourth for Jamie Horton. A quarter of an hour later came number 5, Reed again. A brief rally by Salisbury saw John Gummersall pull a goal back shortly afterwards. And Mark Coombe in the home goal did superbly to keep out Reed's fierce volley. But he couldn't keep out Reed's fourth, despite stopping his first attempt. And Coombe was stranded again before the end, as Horton got his second and Farnborough's 7th.
Well, after that performance,